It's a BumbleKast Mini, sponsored by Jara.
Bomb and Heavy are very interesting. The first robots to rebel against Eggman. Designs that are utterly unique to anything else Eggman has ever made. Are there any plans for them in the future?
None immediately as of this recording.
Are they still around?
Well, I think we're going to cover that as we go through the mini.
Okay. Well then, settle in, folks. Are the mechanics, Bomb and Heavy, considered part of classic or modern? The chaotics are treated as modern, though I'm not sure where the mechanics stand.
If they are still around, if they're a thing, then they're definitely classic era. Thanks to the most recent Tales tube, the chaotics are now both classic and modern assets.
Awesome.
How far that extends, I don't know. We'll see. But it has been confirmed that chaotics happened. So logically, there should be classic era chaotics. And because I've seen a lot of confusion about this, when I say classic era, that's just the past. The 16-bit style. That kind of sub-branch of the franchise. And then modern is the present. It's all one timeline. But when something is said to be classic era, you're most likely not going to see a modern incarnation of it. It will be used within the classic era brand.
Alrighty. How would Bell or Sage react to Bomb and Heavy?
Bell would be a little, maybe taken aback briefly by their geometric, minimalistic design, but she's a little wooden troll. She ain't exactly standard material either. So, I figured she'd get along with them all right. Sage, we haven't really had a chance to know what her aesthetic sense is. Is she going to look at them and just say, oh, these are older models of Father's robots, therefore they are perfect? Or is she going to look at them and go, Father has improved greatly since then? I don't know. That's something that will have to be explored with her in time.
Mm-hmm. Just how indestructible is Heavy, the mechanics? Across Knuckles Chaotix, he's shown to be able to tank basically any and every hit thrown at him, even shrugging off blows by Metal Sonic Kai with no problem. Is he truly immune to all harm? Can none stop him? Did Eggman create the truly unstoppable Ubermech?
I see what you're trying to do there, Jara, but
it doesn't come across super well in
Ubermech.
Yeah, it doesn't come across super well in audio form.
I do appreciate it, though. I really do. It's the kind of reach I would go for and pull something in the process. It's been a long time since I played Chaotix, and truth be told, when I do get a chance, I kind of make a straight line for primary Charmy, secondary Vector, flying wrecking ball to win all the game. But so I'm going to take you at face value that Heavy is basically invulnerable, but from what I remember, he's also just like prohibitively heavy and slow. Like he's a detriment to you. You can't really throw him. He kind of kills your momentum. He's a dead weight. So for all that invulnerability, if you can't really do anything with it, it ain't that great of a perk.
Yeah. He can't take much here. He can take a hit, but at what cost? Cost of nothing, because he can't really do anything. What would happen if Bean and Bark and Bomb and Heavy traded partners?
Bark, I think, would kind of like the moment of calm, the serenity, the silence, until Bomb explodes and then he doesn't have a partner anymore.
Nah, he gets better.
Meanwhile, Bean, I imagine, is his usual self, doesn't seem to even notice that his partner's been swapped around until like mid-sentence, mid-antics. He just turns around at Heavy and goes, "Would you just shut up? Honestly, can't get a word in edgewise. You're always bah, 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 bah. Where's my buddy Bark? At least he knows how to restrain just a little bit." And then he tries to blow up Heavy.
And fails, because it doesn't work. How exactly does Bomb the Mechanics work? I mean, they explode, but are up and at 'em in seconds, ready to go off once again. How does that work?
Thing is, I don't know if we can certify that there is just one heavy and bomb to start off with. Because when you're in the character select and you got the catcher claw, there's 2 instances of heavy and bomb and 1 of each of the chaotics. And if you grab any of the chaotics and drop them in the combi confiner, it turns them back to normal. So that implies that all of the figures that you can select are viable, which would mean there are multiple heavies and bombs, which makes sense because they're robots. They could be mass produced. So it could just be that once bomb blows up, the next model kind of just joins whoever is running around. Maybe. Possibly. It could also be just a game mechanic and we're not supposed to think too hard about it. I don't know!
Well, maybe this is something that could be explored now that Chaotix is back on the table.
Maybe?
I'm guessing it won't be, because this is Sega we're talking about. But, you know, we can dream. What is Heavy and Bomb's relationship? Are they acquaintances? Are they friends, siblings, or lovers? The public demands to know. I think only Jara really demands to know, but that's okay. No, I demand to know.
Jara bought a mini. They're entitled to demand.
I kind of like Heavy and Bomb, even though they're the consolation prize.
What up, moi?
You can't have any of the real chaotic, so here you go. You're saddled with one of these dudes instead.
The Kirkland brand chaotics. The Kirklotics. I make fun, but Kirkland's actually a pretty solid brand. Anyway.
I know.
Sponsor us, Costco. I imagine, they're both the mechanics. They were both designed as repair droids, from what I recall, depending on which version you're looking at. So, co-workers, maybe? This is assuming that they have any degree of personality.
Mm.
And given how much personality is in all the other idle animations, and I don't recall them really doing much, they may not have a lot to them. They may be very simple robots.
Maybe. I mean, I wonder what, the relationship that Orbot and Qbot have with each other. I guess they're just co-workers too, really, more than anything. Yeah. That they're, maybe you could say they're related, but I don't know. They weren't made at the same time, because Orbot predates Qbot, technically.
Yeah, but
at least
they
as far as
both
prototype.
They both kind of affectionately refer to Metal Sonic as Big Bro.
True.
So there's kind of a familial sense there.
Mm.
But that's also a joke. I don't know how much you're supposed to read into that one.
Maybe all of Eggman's robots are siblings. Maybe. All right. Well, Jara asked some questions, and then she also crowdsourced some questions from some other folks. So we're going to get into those right now. This one is from Smoogie Boogie. What are your opinions on Heavy and Bomb, and how would you give them unique personalities and stories with the potential in the current age where we have many other robots on the side of good? I liked what you were starting to do with them and Archie before the reboot, so if you have extended plans to share from that, or just ideas that pop in your head now, I'd love to hear it.
I honestly am not sure. This would be something that would be tackled by the lore group. You know, here are these consolation prize characters that appeared once in a somewhat maligned game on an add-on system that didn't move too many units. Yeah, it's about as obscure as you can get and still be even remotely viable. So,
they could fix that by re-releasing Chaotix. I'm just saying.
They could.
Just saying.
With the robots that we have currently, you know, we have General, who is very robotic, but it's also clearly, you know, he is a wholesome boy. He is a protector. He is a big brother of sorts. And then you have Omega, who's very robotic in his presentation, but he is like violence incarnate. He is always at 11. He's both hilarious and terrifying depending on his context.
Yeah.
And then Bell is just a person, like straight up, fully realized individual. And, Orbot and Cubot, they also have their personalities. So we have a lot of personable robots. Yes, Metal Sonic is very reserved, but that's kind of the point. That's the very essence of his creation. He is the antithesis of Sonic. So if the mechanics came back and they were within the context of the Chaotix still, they might be funnier as just like the deadpan straight men to the Chaotix. Because the Chaotix themselves are just brimming with personality. They are a comedy act in and of themselves.
They really are.
And they're fun bouncing off there's a lot of fun with them bouncing off each other. So adding in Heavy and Bomb as a kind of neutral, non-reactive sort of thing might be kind of fun for them to bounce off of. Maybe. That's one direction. I don't know if that would be it for sure.
Heavy and Bomb just look at each other like, well, this is it. Silly. I like it.
Heavy's the janitor cleaning up the office.
Yeah.
Spooking Bomb and making him explode. Heavy just kind of sulks and then sweeps up what's left of Bomb.
Heavy is just kind of like resigned to his job, and he keeps his job because Bomb keeps exploding around him. And here's a question from DJ Shock. If Heavy and Bomb appeared in a classic special, what alignment would they be? Good, like how their Archie counterparts were, usually. Evil, trying to fool the good guys, which was a possibility raised in Chaotix. Or perhaps a case of both genuinely trying to be good, but are so incompetent at it that it leads the cast wondering if Eggman was trying to pull something with both of them.
See, that's the funniest option, to be sure.
Yeah.
But that gag could run its course, and then what do you do with them?
It feels a little like a rehash of Orbot and Cubot, if to recontextualize them in that way. I don't know, though. Might be able to do something different.
From, but Orbot and Cubot, for number one, I feel like they need to be utilized more. I think they need to be more active villains. They're trying to be, competent lackeys.
Yeah.
And then they fail. It'd be great if they were just like the introductory level boss pilots, save Eggman for like the end boss.
I would love
serious threat.
I would love that. Yeah, that would be great.
So I can see that as like a parallel. Heavy and Bomb are trying to do good and failing miserable at it. That could be funny. And if used sparingly enough, it could be a gag with legs. As for the idea that they were sleeper agents, that Eggman was purposefully toying with Knuckles and the Chaotix, it's like, oh no, these rogue robots keep coming to help you and making it worse. Whatever shall I do? Mass produce more, I suppose.
Oh no.
That's also fun. You know what? That could feed right into the other idea that they are programmed to help badly. They don't know that they're working for evil. It's just how they're designed.
Which, hey, is something that this next question from Happy Times might be going into. The Manual of Chaotix implies that Heavy and Bomb may not have actually defected from Eggman and are actually there to hinder the heroes on Eggman's orders by slowing them down and constantly exploding on them. If they were ever brought back for the classic comics, would this possible villainous side be played up, or would they be considered innocently inept?
Like we just covered. They're both options, and I don't know, they're both fun.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think either one would work. Although I feel kind of bad. Like, would Tails have to help them out eventually? Like, all right, let's reprogram you to actually make you kind of, not so completely useless.
He just finishes recoding Bomb, and Bomb explodes. Start over.
Oh, man. Here's a question from Johnny B. Good. How would Omega interact with Heavy and Bomb? If it came to a fight, which rebellious robots would come out on top?
I think everybody loses, because Heavy and Bomb are not going to be able to do anything against Omega, but Omega's going to get depressed. Because sure, he can blow up Bomb all he wants, but Bomb just keeps coming back. There's no joy. There's no finality. what point is there to destruction if it doesn't stay destroyed? And Heavy, which we've kind of established right now, is invulnerable. Omega would be just unloading into him, but not doing anything. But Heavy can't really do anything back, so it's just this stalemate. And Bomb doesn't stay destroyed. Heavy can't be destroyed. What is Omega even going to do? They're Eggman robots. He can destroy them, but they don't say destroy. That's not destruction. He can't destroy this one. He's at his limit. Shadow, what do I do? Does not compute. I have no tear ducts, and yet I must cry. Beep boop.
No.
Shadow's like, what are you doing in my house? And Rouge is like, your house?
Uh-oh. Did you just confirm something, Ian?
No, I'm just being goofy. Okay. Everybody settle down.
Okay. Yeah. You're not allowed to make jokes.
Yeah. This show's in trouble because it is just one gigantic joke.
Well, hey, it's a joke that pays the bills. What can I say?
That's the best kind of punchline.
Exactly. We got one last question, and it's from Major Bunny. Heavy and Bomb have the day off to relax. Where are they going? What's their dream vacation? Maybe that's what they were doing in Chaotix.
They don't know how to relax. They weren't programmed for that. They get sent off to some tropical paradise to get some R&R, and they just go around fixing things as best they can. They're mechanics. That's what they do. Except they're Heavy and Bomb, so they're blowing up the resort, but that gives them more to fix. So
Exactly. Self-perpetuating job security.
That's going to wrap us up for this BumbleKast Mini. Thanks to Jar for sponsoring it and for sponsoring all the other questions. If you want a BumbleKast Mini of your own, or if you want to sponsor other people's questions, head over to patreon.com/BumbleKast, ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, or become a YouTube member. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.